Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian. Today I have the privilege of taking a look at and disassembling and shooting a BSW prototype gas-locked pistol. Now, this was developed in 1936, 1937, and it was a competitor to the Walther P38 in German military trials. Only 3 of these are known to still exist. Obviously, they didn't win the trials. They didn't come anywhere close to winning the trials. So what makes this pistol very unusual is that it has this gas lever on the front of the slide. There's a hole in the bottom of the barrel, and gas action pushes down on this, which helps accelerate the slide open. A couple other interesting features about this thing. It's an all aluminum frame, so it's very lightweight. The slide looks like it would have probably been stamped had these gone into production. It's basically sheet metal, but this prototype was clearly milled. Now, it has a 13-round magazine, which is quite a bit more than the P38 did. And it's very interesting in that it is a double stack magazine on the bottom that narrows to a single stack for feeding. So holds 13 rounds. We have a manual safety on the slide, very simple. We'll take a closer look at that when we disassemble it. But it's in absolutely pristine condition, and thanks to its current owner, I'm able to come out here and try shooting it. So let's just put some rounds through it before we take it apart. So a couple things you notice when you're shooting this. First off, it's pretty snappy recoil. It's a light gun and it's kind of top heavy, so the recoil kick is significant. And the trigger reset is very, very long. You can see how far forward the trigger comes here. You have to let it go all the way forward before you can fire a second round, and it's double action only. So every single shot is double action. Interesting. Let me try a couple more. So it's a nice accurate piece. It hits right where you're aiming it. Why don't we go ahead and take this apart and take a closer look at the insides, and I think you'll see why the German military decided not to adopt this guy. Disassembly of the BSW prototypes is fairly straightforward, but a little bit finicky. So drop the magazine. This is very interesting in that it's a 13-round magazine. It's double stack, but tapered to come to a single stack for actual feeding, which is very unusual. What this lever actually does, it's not locking the slide, it's acting as an accelerator. So when I pull down, it's actually pushing the slide backwards. And if you grab the slide and rack it, it will open just fine with that lever in place. So the idea that this lever is actually a lock, I'm not entirely sure about. We'll get a better idea of this in just a moment when we take it apart. So this is double action only, and it has a magazine safety. So pulling the trigger with the magazine released pulls the hammer down but won't dry fire it. And that's an important element in disassembly. We also have this lever. This acts kind of like the slide stop in something like a Makarov or a PPK. And we're going to have to pull that down to pull the slide off as well. So what we're going to do is pull the slide all the way back, pull the disassembly lever down, and then the slide lifts up and off the top. There's our recoil spring and our frame. So this is the gas lever. It's not a particularly strong spring, just enough to hold it in place. And underneath that lever is this big rectangular hole cut in the barrel, which lines up with this semicircular seat. So the idea being, I think, as soon as the bullet gets to here and leaves the barrel, the little bit of gas pressure left in the barrel will push this down, which drops it out of the way and allows the slide to move back more easily. However, you can see that the surface right there at the front of the catch, where this lever attaches to the slide, isn't actually straight, and it's certainly not angled this direction to lock the slide in place. It's actually angled slightly backward, which allows the slide to ride up and over it with enough force. It is an aluminum frame, so this bit's actually remarkably light. There's our double action trigger pull. Because I don't have a magazine inserted, it does not dry fire. So the slide kind of looks like it's stamped, but I'm pretty sure this is actually milled. Now this was a prototype, so it's entirely possible that they planned to go to a stamped slide if and when the gun were adopted. But in the handful of prototypes that they made first, it was simpler just to machine them. You know, much more expensive for a single part, but cheaper than setting up all the stamping equipment to do a long run. So this bar right here is what catches on the gas lever. Really not much to it. It's rounded so that the lever will slide up and over it without too much trouble. Other than that, not much going on here. We have a frame mounted safety. It's a very simple safety. It just rotates this lug into place so that when the safety is engaged, the hammer hits that lug instead of hitting the firing pin. When the safety is disengaged, then you can hit the firing pin right there. Firing pin is spring-loaded, of course. So, pretty simple pistol. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd like to thank Steve for letting me come out here and actually do some shooting with this extremely expensive, one of 3 known to exist pistols. If you liked what you see, tune back into ForgottenWeapons.com for more prototype service pistols. Thanks for watching.